give us an understanding. How many Nigerians are paying tax? And what is the expectation that the tax net is supposed to capture from January?
Excellent question. Nigeria is over 200 million people. We're not very sure how many we are. But based on employment data, about 86 million Nigerians are actively employed. You can argue how many of them can even afford to pay any tax. In the tax nets, across all 36 states, FCT, the active number of taxpayers is less than 10 million. That math does not add up. And you can take any country in the world, developing, develop, underdeveloped. There is no way the people that are in the net should not be at least half of the people who are active. So which means Nigeria has a long way to go to move from like 10 million to around 40 million. When you go to businesses, the number is not much different. You will see with the Corporate Affairs Commission, over 1 million companies are registered, actively paying taxes, barely 100,000. If you don't fix that problem, we continue to create a distortion for the economy where honest people struggle to survive.
How do you then track people to pay tax?
Yes.
How do you hope to capture more people into the net?
Yes.
You are looking for 30 million more people.
Yes. So this is
for the
where
federal taxation.
No, that's the state. It's actually state. For individual, it's state.
Okay.
The federal one is now the companies.
Yeah.
It's a lower number. But you see, this is the whole essence of the intelligence we are trying to piece together. What happens in your bank account when you travel abroad, how you use your payment card, electricity, your phone, all those information. We've also introduced what we call fiscalization, which is when you issue an invoice for goods or services, government gets a copy automatically. What we're trying to do with that is, instead of relying on people to be honest and patriotic to tell us their income, we want to use the system to find out. Your primary role is to declare your income yourself. Then government, on the other hand, we do a ecosystem validation. You say, life is hard though. I only made 1 million last year. And then we see that, uncle, you bought a new car last year. You traveled abroad twice last year, business class. You went to the mall, restaurant.
True, Baba Jebo.
Hey, you come and explain it. You come and explain it. You spend 15 million, you say you only earn 1. Tell us how. By the way, government will now go after you if you earn 50K and you spend 90K. They're not looking for those kind of small money. It's not worth it. So it's usually those big numbers. So by the time the system validates what you're doing, we'll be able to know that you have not paid tax. If you cannot explain yourself and your tax is 1 million, under this new tax law from next year, if you have a bank account, we can debit your bank account. Once you've been given the due process to explain yourself and you refuse, government can substitute what you have to collect the taxes you owe. So which means we can do things professionally. We can be decent. We don't need to go on the streets with wood and nails and start beating people up to collect taxes. There are very decent way of doing that in modern society, and Nigeria should not be the exception.
So the fear again is how the clash of governments, the federating and even the lower throne, the local government, because you pay. In fact, there may be small that's why you see more levies.
Yes, they add up.
The local government, what's it called?
Yes.
And even in the FCT here, if you see the way those AMAC boys run after vehicles, they will climb your car. They will be running after you.
Yeah.
They will put a wood with stone, with a nail on your car.
Yeah.
They will harass you. Once you open your car, they will collect your car key. They will remove your number plate. I mean, those things.
Those are the things we want to stop. I was on myself actually in Abuja here. I was going for a meeting, and then we stopped for the traffic light, and then there was a very violent knock. And I said, "What was that?" My driver said they want to collect. I said, "In FCT, this is how they collect tax."
In fact, all the years I lived in Lagos, I'd never experienced it until I got into Abuja. That people will literally climb your vehicle.
Yeah, to collect taxes.
Because my official car that I brought from Lagos, and he gave me a lot of problems. So they see the car, they climbed it, and they...
Remember the very sad story of the couple that lost their life because some criminals
were chasing after them.
Yeah, because they had the steering to collect taxes. We've gone beyond that. So under the new tax reform law, all those are part of what we want to put behind us. I'm not saying it will be easy and it will happen just when the clock turns 1st of January next year. because these things take time. But now we are very intentional and we are very committed to fixing that problem so that Nigerian people can even have that relief. Today, Nigerians pay a lot of taxes. Many of those taxes do not get to the government. The chances of getting taxpayers' value for the taxes you pay is zero when the money does not even get to the government. The Joint Tax Board released a report recently saying all of the local governments in Nigeria did not even collect 50 billion naira in a whole year. How is that possible? We should just exempt everybody from local government taxes if it's 50 billion we're looking for. So this whole idea of people paying more, government collecting less, is something we need to fix, and this tax law is helping us in that direction.
Where the pockets of the average person suffer from multiple hands that goes into it. The federal hands go into it, the state hands go, the local government hands go into it. If you are not careful, there are unseen forces, spiritual hands who even go into it. It's a fear that double, multiple taxation. And that's the...
but you see, the point again is that what you just described now is what we are going through now. The tax reform says from January next year, let's deal with those. So that's why I keep saying, I don't know why anybody will object to a reform that says,
are you unifying it?
Yes.
That you don't have to be paying to any...
We are unifying it. We are harmonizing it.
So you pay once.
We are removing the requirement to physically provide a barrier or hindrance to collect taxes. All this cash collection. These are the things we are working on. In fact, one of the amendments to alter the constitution is to address this particular issue. Because you have the constitution today that says local government can collect radio levy, TV levy, bicycle tax, even wheelbarrow taxes in the constitution. So we need to get rid of these things. And that's exactly what these reforms are trying to do. So Nigerians should please support this reform for the benefit of all of us. Because the other option we have is continue with status quo, and it's clearly not working for us.
So you are hoping to capture 40 more Nigerians in the first year?
No, it won't be first year, to be realistic. I think it's a journey that will take time, maybe another 2 to 3 years. But we need to get to a point where everyone is first captured in the tax net. It doesn't mean they need to pay tax. During COVID, there were countries where they didn't need to go and be asking for who was poor in villages. They just opened the tax system and they could tell who was poor. They had their bank account. They credited them. If they didn't have a bank account, they could give them a full stamp on their phone. We have no data for even economic planning. So more than tax benefits, having this kind of data is good for economic planning, is good for inclusion, is good for opportunity to help your people. We'll know when people are struggling before they told us, if we have that data.
So there is a fiscal implication on the new tax regime, and there is a monetary side to it. And there are implications either for good or for bad. There are those who think that there might be inflationary effect.
No.
Because there are possibility of
no
prices that will... Now, let me give you...
Zero possibility.
Hold on, sir.
Yes.
It's a psychological thing. And that's one of the reasons why we are on this podcast. We are intentionally creating an avenue for people to be educated.
Yes.
Because what people don't know, they run away from. Now, the idea is that people are already thinking, January 1, January 1, January 1, January 1, January 1 tax. The price of this thing will go up on January. There is no evidence to the fact for anyone to increase price of anything in January 1. But for the psychological effect of the uninformed, and that's what people say psychologically, there will be artificial hike in prices of some commodities, which could lead to inflation.
This is the real danger that I'm concerned about personally. This tax reform law is reducing costs from next year. Cost of manufacturer, service provider, agric, education, and then the narrative is, prices will go up. We are giving an excuse for those who might want to take advantage of us from January. We should be telling them that we expect their prices to come down because this tax reform is reducing their cost. To do otherwise is to, in my view, undergoing economic sabotage. There's really no reason. I don't see any reason why under this new tax law, any cost or any price will go up. It should come down. Worst case scenario, if it's not coming down, it should remain the same if you are greedy and you want to keep all the profit to yourself as the seller or the service provider, but clearly no excuse to raise prices. So intentionally, these reforms were designed to help us with macroeconomic stability, dealing with inflation. On one hand, we are reducing the personal income tax so that people can have more disposable income. On the other hand, we are reducing the cost of what they buy so they can have more affordability. When you combine the impact of higher income or disposable income with lower prices, life becomes more meaningful.